So you have probably heard this rule many times. Sell options at a 20 delta or lower and you have an 80% win rate. Stay below 0.15 and it climbs higher. The broker's platform shows you the probability even. The math is right there. 80% of these expire worthless. It's practically safe. It's not safe. The delta is telling you the truth about probability, but the probability is calculated from the stock's recent price behavior. And if the underlying stock is fundamentally broken, priced purely on speculation, or capable of dropping 40% on a single event, then the market's model of recent behavior is completely disconnected from the actual risk that you're taking on. Delta is a tool. It's not a safety guarantee. And the people teaching it as a safety guarantee are leaving out the most important aspect of it. Here's how delta is actually calculated. Options pricing models use a stock's historical volatility, how much it's moved in the recent past, to estimate the probability distribution of where the stock might be at expiration. The delta of a put option is derived from that distribution. A 20 delta means the model estimates roughly 20% chance the stock falls to your strike by expiration. That calculation assumes the future will look roughly like the recent past. In a stable, fundamentally sound businesses, that assumption is defensible for sure. The stock tends to trade in the range. The distribution of outcomes is reasonably predictable, and the probability the model spits out is meaningful. But in a high volatility speculative names, companies trading at 150 times earnings, companies with no real earnings at all, meme stocks, pre-revenue tech names, the recent behavior the model is drawing from itself is unreliable. The stocks can move 30% in a week on a tweet, an earnings pre-announcement, a competitor announcement, or a shift in macro sentiment. The model accounts for high volatility by pricing in higher IV, which is why the premiums look so attractive, but it cannot model the specific scenario where the stock drops 40% in 2 days because the narrative collapses. Delta is a probability math. It's not risk management, okay, at all. Here's the framework that actually matters for this. When I evaluate any put selling opportunity, I run 2 separate analyses and both have to pass before I enter that position. The first is delta and premium, the probability-based view. What strike gives me an acceptable probability of expiring worthless? Is the premium adequate for the collateral I'm putting up? This is the options market's answer to the question, and it's very, very useful. The second is fundamental support, the underlying business view. What does the company's actual earnings, cash flow, and competitive position look like? If I'm assigned at my strike, is there a real economic reason for the stock to be worth that price? Is there a floor in the business that would prevent the stock from falling dramatically even further? And this is partly the reason I created ArkPicks.com. And somebody that does not want to be an actual full-time trader, I want to be able to see all of my top setups, all the fundamental breakdowns, the technical breakdowns. So go check it out. There's a demo on ArkPicks.com, and you can even use coupon code 25OFF for 25% off the lifetime of your subscription. If you're somebody that loves running a wheel strategy, but you got other things that's going on in your life, and you don't have necessarily the time to be a full-time trader, you're gonna love this tool. Go check it out, ArkPicks.com. The options model doesn't know which of these 2 questions is most important for any given stock, okay? It treats every stock's price history as equally informative. It doesn't know that one company, for example, has 30 years of growing cash flow and another hasn't generated positive free cash flow in 5 years, okay? You have to run the second analysis yourself or use ArkPicks. The delta is telling you the probability under normal conditions. You have to assess whether normal conditions actually apply. But we got to talk about why premium looks best on these worst candidates, okay? Because here's the specific trap that catches most new people getting into all this. High IV, right, the kind that produces those juicy premiums, is almost always highest on the most speculative names. A mature consumer staples company trading at, let's say, 15 times earnings might have an IV of 18 to 22%. A pre-rev tech name or a meme stock might have an IV of 80 to over 100%, right? The options pricing model responds to that higher volatility by moving the 20 delta strike further away from the current price. So on the speculative name, the 20 delta might be 25% below the current price instead of 8%, and the premium at that strike might be $250 instead of $70. On the surface, it looks like a better trade, right? More premium, more distance. The delta says 80% win rate. What's actually happening here is the market is pricing in the real possibility that this stock can drop dramatically fast for reasons that have literally nothing to do with where the strike is placed. The 80% win rate is accurate as historical probability, but the 20% loss scenario involves outcomes that are way larger and faster than most option sellers can even mentally actually prepare for. The stock doesn't drift down to your strike. It literally gaps through it on a piece of news, and usually it keeps going. Let's talk about the fundamental floor test. And here's the practical filter that I apply before the delta means anything to me. I ask a simple question. If this stock dropped 20% tomorrow, for literally no apparent reason, would the price represent a genuinely attractive long-term value for the business, or would it just be a lower price on something that really has no fundamental anchor to fall back on? For a quality dividend-paying company with 20, 30 years of earnings history and a PE of 14, a 20% drop would represent some real value to me. There's a floor created by the business's actual cash generations. Buyers would appear because the yield would look compelling to them. The stock would have a reason, hopefully, to recover. For a company trading at 200 times revenue with no earnings, a 20% drop doesn't create value. It's just a lower entry point on speculation. The next event, an earnings miss, a competitor announcement, a shift in macro sentiment could push it even down another 30%. There's literally no fundamental floor. The delta is neutral on this question. It treats literally both stocks identically in terms of probability calculation. The risk, though, is entirely different. Let's talk about the volatility expansion problem a little bit, right? Because one more layer that makes speculative names extra dangerous for put sellers is this. Volatility expands during the decline. When a stable, low beta stock drops 10%, IV might tick up slightly, okay? The position is still manageable. You can roll, wait, or exit for a modest cost. When a high beta stock speculative name drops 20%, IV can literally double or triple overnight. The put you sold for $150 is now worth $6, not because the stock fell exactly to your strike, but because the market is now pricing in much more uncertainty about where the stock's going to go next. Exiting the position cost you 4 times what you collected. Holding it means accepting the possibility of further decline on the stock. Look, the premium that made the trade look attractive was literally compensation exactly for this scenario. You just didn't see it that way when the delta said 80%. Okay, delta is a probability tool derived from a model. That model is only as good as the assumption that a stock's future behavior will resemble its recent past. On fundamentally stable, cash-generating businesses, that assumption holds reasonably well. That's why I love dividend stocks. On speculative names, though, it fails in exactly the scenarios that really matter the most for us. The practical implication, though, is this. Delta should be the second filter you apply to a put-selling decision, not the first. The first filter is always whether the underlying business has a real defensible value at the strike price that you're considering. One that comes from actual earnings, from actual cash flow, not from some narrative and some momentum. When you pass the fundamental filter first, the delta becomes genuinely useful to you. You're selling an 80% win rate option on a stock with a business floor beneath the actual strike. Both conditions are satisfied. That's the setup. That's the setup that works better. When you skip the fundamental filter and go straight to the delta, you're using a math tool to manage risk on a problem that the math literally cannot see. So here's how I'm personally running this. Before I look at any options chain, I've already answered the fundamental question about the stock, right? If the business doesn't pass the ownership test, would I want to own this at the assignment price for the next 12 months? I don't even open the options chain, okay? The delta on that trade is irrelevant. When the fundamental floor is real, though, I then use delta to pick the specific strike. I'm looking 20 to 30 range, usually on quality names, a probability that makes the premium worthwhile without being so aggressive that, assignment becomes, likely in a normal down cycle, right? The two filters in sequence, fundamental floor first, delta second, either alone is incomplete, together, they describe a position worth taking, at least for me. 2 questions for you guys in the comments. As always, we always have some good combos down there. Have you ever sold a put on a low delta on a speculative name because the premium looked good to you and then watch the stock gap through your strike? Who's comfortable enough to share their story down below in the comments? Number 2, how do you personally screen for fundamental quality stocks before you look at the options chain? I would love to hear your research method down below. And if you're interested, take a look at arkpicks.com, guys. This breaks down the fundamentals of the stocks, stocks, shows you their cash flow, gives you the full options chain, right? And actually gives you all the information you need, all the information you don't need as well, so you can make an informed decision for yourself without staring at charts literally all day. We also have a bunch of pre-made watch lists on there as well. I know you're gonna like it. Head over to arkpicks.com, use coupon code 25 off for 25% off the lifetime of your subscription. As always, guys, remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.